A local police department is taking a unique approach to fighting crime. Clergy patrols. Now, we're not talking about pistol-packing pastors, but clergy members could soon be riding along with officers. 10 News reporter Colter Anstad is live at the police department. And Colter, you had a chance to talk with a local pastor. What are his thoughts on this?
Brittany, he had not heard of the idea prior to today, but Pastor David Turbyfield tells me he's all for it. The police department plans to hold an informational meeting for clergy members next week and hopes to start using the long arm of the Lord in the next few weeks. When crimes occur, getting the community to open up to officers and investigators can be difficult. That's where clergy members like Schofield Baptist Church pastor David Turbyfield come in.
If the community can see someone they know riding along with the police, see that presence, I think it'll make a big difference and help to build some trust.
Danville Police Department Lieutenant Richard Chivas has faith that will happen.
Norfolk Police Department here in Virginia has a clergy patrol, and they've been kind enough to share some resources with us. I've watched some of the videos and some of the other news reports on clergy patrol as well, and it has seemed to be successful.
Turbyfield says if he was riding along with an officer, his plan would be to try to let people he interacts with know that he's there because he cares about them.
I want to try to help them get through whatever the situation might be, even offer to pray with them. But sometimes that can go a long way. Just say, can I just pray with you? And take a few moments there to talk together and share together about what's going on.
As important as the clergy members may be, Chivas emphasizes that their safety will come first.
We're not going to put anybody in danger. We just don't do that. That's part of our ride-along policy. When something super hot comes out, we've had to ask, please stay here at the gas station, criminal justice student or media until we go handle this, and then we'll come back and get you in a few minutes.
So far, the police department has reached out to close to 50 religious organizations and invited representatives to next week's meeting. Next week's informational meeting starts at 5:30 on Tuesday in the City Council chambers at City Hall. The ride-alongs will begin just as soon as a pastor is ready and has passed the police department's standard background check. Live in Danville, Colter Anstad, 10 News, working for you.